Hello traders, John at StockBookie.com. Today we're looking at Nvidia, AMD, Tesla, and MU. We follow the daily, weekly, monthly time frames. We use technical analysis here at StockBookie.com. If you like these videos, go to my website, sign up, they're free, or click down here in the bottom right hand corner and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Traders, looking for a new broker? Check out venomtrading.com/promo/StockBookie. Alright guys, let's get into Nvidia. Daily chart. 17 million on the day, $13.62 up, and a little bit up after hours. I'm not sure what they had, news or whatever they're pumping out there, but whatever it was, it did a magical magic trick. And look at this though. I've had this trend line in here. I'm going to put it down a little tiny bit and connect it, but this trend line comes from all these, and look where this thing stops at right here. So we go to the 10-minute chart. Hit this, pretty much kissed it, came back in, curled right back up. So someone needed higher prices today. Bottom line, guys. But daily chart, again, kissing that. Great retrace to the highs. Let's take this Fibonacci out. I just want to see short term from this level to here. Do we go to the 750? Yeah, 750. So we're above that, hitting the trend line into more resistance or overhead resistance, and let's see if this thing can continue higher. I would expect if this thing's going a gap up, maybe even above this all-time high to keep this thing going, 290, possibly 300, guys. But again, back above the 50, the 20, and the 200. Good stance, but really, really choppy. I mean, we made the low, then a higher low. I mean, this one took it out, but came right back up, and they didn't mess around. Straight back up off this low. Came back in, made another low, but higher low. So trend's intact. It's going up nicely until that trend breaks. This thing's just going to keep grinding with the markets. We're even going to put that right there. Look at that trend line too. That's pretty nice, and that's coming way below. So that's a big one too as well, guys. Nice little pennant, squeezing up. They get it to the highs again and close it. Gosh, I got to see what news that is. If someone knows, send me an email, stockbookie@gmail.com. So, weekly chart, pretty much same thing. Above, kiss the 20 MA, hit that 260.35 area, and boom, blast off straight up. Remember, up, sideways, a little bit more bullish. Above the MAs, bullish stance. This one looks like it's about to blast off. Let's see if this is just a head fake. We click over and it goes right back down. Got a lot of people who probably got on board today going, oh man, this thing's going to hit new all-time highs. 300 would probably be the number, maybe 310 because it might overshoot. But this is something to watch here. Great trend line up on top. Let's see if it can hold down, hold this thing down, or do we gap up on Monday and go? If the markets are weak, this thing will have a tendency to go down with the markets. It will be a market trade. So whatever news came out today, maybe an upgrade, maybe no one's buying AMD anymore, and that's why AMD was down. Who knows? But anyways, to me, someone needed higher prices, period. All right, let's look at AMD. AMD daily chart. What do we have? 165 million on the day. So we had some good volume today in AMD, and it's holding this 20 MA. It's always the target, guys, or the first target. This one, another one, just stretched. This thing goes from $9 to 34, and people think it's going higher. It possibly can. It is up. It is sideways, consolidating in a bullish manner, a little choppy bullish manner, holding the MAs. But if the 20 gives out and this little low area at 30.57 give out, what was the low? 30 bucks? 29.98. So even hit the even number and the 20 MA, and they popped it up again. So holding the lows, holding the $30 area. Nothing wrong. A little bit stretched though. I'd expect this thing to pull back a little bit and then possibly keep going. So we'll keep an eye on this one. Volume wasn't bad though today on a little bit of sell-off. $1.70 down. This one was 5.22%. I mean, it's not a big deal after it's ran, 300% or whatever it's ran. Not that much, but 150%. So keep an eye on that one. Volume was good, down $1.70. Let's go to the weekly. Did it hit anything on the weekly? Yeah, see, still stretched, 20 bucks. I mean, this will keep curling up. So maybe you're looking at gap fill at 25. I do like the 22.50. I do like, let's see. Let's pull this one. Let's delete that. I want to see a retrace coming from this low. See what areas. 21.61, 25 bucks with the gap fill. So Yeah, a little bit, you know, got a couple little tails up in here, nothing crazy, but it is a little stretch, so be careful with this one, especially if you're long. I'm telling you, you know, you go off and this was a nice bullish base. I mean, not the best. It was nice. It was a chop. I'd rather seen this as, you know, just a little tighter. But man, this was going from, you know, 15.50 to $10, 15.50, $10, 15, you know, or 13.60, $9, and then the blast off. Gosh. Someone needed to make money here, and they did. That's the bottom line, guys. These parabolic moves are just getting ridiculous. And if you look at the monthly, I'll go over the monthly. We still have Monday, Tuesday. I'll do some monthly charts too. This was the big line I was looking at for a while, and it held. I mean, we're like right there. Jeez, look at this. Right on top of it, guys. Nothing better than that. So monthly chart right on top of this one. It's going to be interesting on Monday what we get here on AMD. But again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars up into big resistance. A little bit higher would have been nicer around the 35, but came right back in here. Got to see what it's going to give us. Look at the volume too, guys, on this last candle. That's like the last push before the pump and the dump. So be careful if you're long in this one. It might go up. I am short, a little bit out of the money. Gives me a couple more bucks, we'll be all right. But if we get one more pop, I'll probably just go a little bit more on this one. You know, it's still a small position, guys. I'm not all in. It's no more than 10% position of my total portfolio. I'm okay, guys. Even if I'm a 50% upside down, 60% upside down, it's still not going to wipe me out. It's not that big of a deal. So when I take these swing trades, money management is so critically important. You know, and I emphasize that to my members all the time. Don't go all in. No more than 10%. On this one, no more than 5%, because you know how this one acts. It wasn't breaking this for, you know, for a while up and down $5 moves, and then pop all of a sudden. You know, it's like this one here, going from $1.84 to 15. And then, you know, people hung on, and then boom, it goes up. Gosh, you got to get the heck out. You got this one at $2, and you're not selling at 34. My gosh. Talk about pigs. So, but AMD, guys, hey, hats off to the bulls. Rock and roll. Hopefully you made some good money. Me, I'm going on the short side. We shorted here, we shorted here, and we shorted here for some nice money. This one we're a little bit upside down, like I said. What are you going to do? I'm not going to, oh, well, you know, life will go on, just like TLRY. We were getting roasted on that one. Came back in, made a killing. This is the same thing, guys. Stocks, parabolic moves. I don't care where it was, you know, in 2009 or 7 or wherever it was, 6, and this is the 2000.com boom. You know what? Nice little trend line there. Till it gets above that, confirms, and starts to rip. Then I believe this one can go higher. Tesla now, man, had a great trade on this one. Made a bunch of money. Posted it on StockTwits. That was awesome. There's nothing better than opening up a stock, or you kind of look over. It's like, wow, why am I green on that one? And then it's like, whoa, wait, holy, 40 bucks down, cover. So we covered after hours. After hours, it went down a little bit more, but I don't really care. Here's was the big trend line. Let's go to the daily. So on the daily chart, we're below this trend line. We talked about this gap fill, and guess what we did today, guys? We filled the gap. If you watched my video yesterday I made, that was one of the important areas. Next area would be here around the 252.27, and then the 245 area. Down on this pivot, actually 252, and then this low pivot here at 245. Those are some important areas too. So you get a nice, you know, down move. You get a great retrace into these moving averages on the daily, and then we even hit the moving averages on the weekly. You got to take this trade. Huge resistance there. Even if it's for a couple day hold, we get a quick pullback and done. Instead, we got the real pullback on news. You know, did I know that was coming out? No way. Was it a good thing for me? Hell yes. But look where we're at, guys, too, on the weekly at the 200 MA, the place where it keeps bouncing. So this is critical area for Tesla, guys, period. So let's keep an eye on this one. The 250 through 60, 560 was area 2 as well. If you go back, that was this right here. After it broke out, came back in, stalled, came back in, and then broke out. So that was a very important area too. This high pivot. And then you had some pivots here before it came up there. So you knew right here was going to be some resistance as well, or support. Where do we stop? Right below it, guys. They tried closing it above. You got the buy the dip mentality off the gap fill. You got some technical guys going, hey, gap fill, this thing should bounce. I think we're going to go a little bit lower first, and then we'll be looking for a long on this one. And it's news too, so I want this thing to shake up and down, whatever it's got to do, and then we'll do something on Tesla, guys. We looked at the weekly. Volume was pretty big today too. I mean, this week it was okay on the week. Oh my gosh, look at that. And it held to 200 too. That's where you got the bounce too. So usually bars like this, will tend to either retrace, or do we get a gap up and, buy the dip mentality like over here. This was news, so this is a little bit different. I'm not sure what, well, this was probably news too. Oh yeah, this was the 420, I think. Oh, so yeah, right now, I took a nice short trade on this one. I did not post this to my members. This is just a high-risk play for Tesla with all the news going on. And I'm trying not to put my members in harm's way, at least for now. at least for now, guys. But Tesla, we'll be looking, before. I like the 180 area again. I mean, this area is pretty good too, the 245. If we get a straight down action, we get a pierce, maybe to the 231, the 750, and then possibly the buy. A lot of news on this one. If you take this position, long or short, make sure it's not huge. You don't want to get killed, especially if more news comes out and this thing dips some more. So we could be filling this gap down here too at 150. Man, world's greatest trading vehicle, guys. Love Tesla. And then MU. I didn't even look at this one today. What were we? 27 or 24 cents up. What was it? 28 million on the day. Volume was okay. Yeah, and we're down, we're up. We came back in, hit these levels. Now I'm going to get rid of all this. So here's your next area. This one, we did have a gap right here. Almost filled it. And then we had some nice pivots here. So this is where it hit. Kind of come in, come in, come in. Got through it, then boom, right back up. So anywhere, in this area here, and I'm going to take it off this low pivot right there. Let's see, did it go through? Where do we end up? Yeah, see, that's where it kissed it today. We had a gap. I'm gonna put a little bit lower. We had the gap fill right there too. So that's a pretty big area, as well as this little wick here too. So we got it. We bounced off, went back up, but we're trying to get above the MAs again. This was a nice little retrace, came right back in. So now we're bearish down sideways. And now in another bearish down sideways. I mean, it's a little bit up and sideways until we get it back above the 20, the 50, and the 200. I'll be a little more bullish on MU. But right now, being below these MAs, trying, kind of struggling. Had nice volume here, dropped off. Even on no volume, it couldn't even float through this MA. So, let's see. Is it holding this one too? Closed right below that pivot as well. What was the retrace? So if you look at the retrace from this high or that low to this high, yeah, 50% retrace too. Look at that. 50% comes right back in, holding the 250. In a weak position though, guys. I do have to say, until we get above these MAs, it'll be a little bit stronger. But if you're trying to go long in this one, just be careful. We did make a high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So the trend is slightly going to the lower side. But see on the weekly, what do we do? Weekly, yeah, same thing. Look at that, below the 50 and the 20 as well. And look at that, down, sideways. Gosh, got the nice retrace, held it up. Everyone got excited. This one's going higher, and they bring it, just slowly bleed it. You're in from 64 to 44, most likely, or, all in, if not half in. You're not taking 10% positions like we do here, or even 5% positions. Take 5 and put 30 positions on instead of 2 or 3. Spread them apart. When they're coming in, they come in. We have a lot of the high flyers out there. We're short. We're out of the money on them. We're shares, though, guys. Only shares. When they come in, they will. They take time. But as long as it's 5% position, right in that area, we're not going to get killed. Pretty simple. So that one was all right. So down sideways. Have a little bit of tail. Let's see if this holds. This 44 area, 45 area. And, this 20 MA curls down. This is going to push it down lower. I still think we're going here. On a lot of these weekly charts, I still think we're going to the 200 MA. When it's all said and done. The markets will pull back, and when we do, it will be nasty. It'll be quick. It'll be, and then there'll be turmoil on, Tonight, turmoil on Wall Street tonight at 7 on CNBC. Start seeing that again. You know, weeks ago you saw euphoria. Oh my gosh, new all-time highs for the Dow. This is so great. We're even going to unwind the balance sheet. So, something like that. So, all right, guys. So that's MU. A little bit weak. You know, if you're trying to buy the dip on this one, hold strong. If it breaks the 40 area, then you expect the 39.59 and possibly lower. You know, you'll probably go 35, 32.50, then down into this area here. So, if this does go up, gets above the 50 and the 20, gets above this you know, $50 area, then 53.69. Then we'll probably start, you know, climbing up again. If we break this, you know, high, lower high, lower high, if we get above this one here around 54 and close, that could break the momentum to the downside. But that's what you need to see to have this one go, you know, go get a little bit higher. You got to get above this red candle here. So, all right, guys, that's it for these four. Thanks again for stopping by. I really do appreciate it. Don't forget to subscribe down here in the bottom right-hand corner. God bless. See you on the charts.